Welcome to Surprise Insights. If you're ready for a mind-melting experience, stay tuned because today we're diving into 25 shocking, unbelievable facts about the craziest laws in the world that might just make you question everything. From bizarre historical events to mind-bending science, these facts will challenge what you think you know about the world. And hey, if you enjoy these kinds of discoveries, make sure to hit subscribe to join us for more fascinating insights. Did you know that if you're jobless for too long in Belarus, you'll face a special unemployment tax? Or that one African country attempted to ban public flatulence? Today, we're diving headfirst into some of the most jaw-dropping laws that are still enforced around the world. From surprising clothing restrictions to bizarre public behavior bans, here are 25 shocking laws that are still in effect across the globe. 25. Camouflage clothing bans in the Caribbean. Thinking of packing your favorite camouflage for a Caribbean getaway? Think again. Countries like Jamaica, Barbados, and Grenada have strict laws against civilians wearing camouflage patterns. This fashion choice is reserved exclusively for the military to avoid confusion between civilians and service members. Violators risk fines, and sometimes even jail time, for this seemingly innocent choice. So, remember to leave the camo pants at home, and while you're at it, consider hitting that subscribe button for more surprising insights like this. 24. No free-handed bike riding in Mexico. Riding a bike in Mexico might sound carefree, but there's a strict rule: keep both feet on the pedals at all times. This law dates back to the 1800s, when an accident between a carriage and a cyclist prompted officials to enforce stricter road safety measures. Though modern bike designs make it easier to brake and steer, the rule persists. So, if you're a hands-free rider, beware. Mexico wants you to stay firmly planted on those pedals. 23. Flip-flops and driving don't mix in Spain. Did you know that in Spain, wearing flip-flops while driving could get you fined? Authorities consider this footwear dangerous since flip-flops can slip off or catch, risking accidents. Next time you're in Spain, opt for shoes with better grip behind the wheel. And if you're surprised by that, hit like below. 22. Singing in a bathing suit in Florida. Ready to belt out a tune at the beach? In Florida, there's a quirky law against singing while in a bathing suit. Dating back to more conservative times, it's one of those outdated laws that rarely sees enforcement but technically still exists. So next time you're on a Florida beach, maybe keep your karaoke to the shower. 21. Cutting down a saguaro cactus in Arizona. If you're tempted to chop down a towering saguaro cactus in Arizona, think again. These iconic plants, sometimes over 150 years old, are protected by strict state laws, with potential penalties including prison time. The saguaro's growth rate is so slow, taking up to 100 years to reach maturity, that each one is viewed as an ecological treasure. 20. Bingo restrictions in North Carolina. In North Carolina, bingo games are surprisingly regulated. No more than 2 nights a week, a maximum duration of 5 hours, and a mandatory 48-hour cool-down between sessions. These rules aim to prevent gambling addictions and ensure that bingo remains a casual, community-oriented activity. 19. Capri's DNA testing for dog messes. The beautiful island of Capri in Italy takes dog waste seriously. Dog owners who fail to clean up after their pets face not only a €2,000 fine, but may also be required to submit DNA samples from their dogs. This unique approach has helped keep Capri's streets pristine for residents and tourists alike. 18. No climbing trees in Oshawa, Canada. Tree climbing might be a fun childhood pastime, but in Oshawa, Canada, it's against the law. This regulation prioritizes public safety and tree preservation, minimizing accidents and potential damage to city trees. Oshawa's unusual rule shows how far some cities will go to protect both their citizens and their greenery. 17. Password sharing in Tennessee. Ever shared your Netflix login with a friend? In Tennessee, doing so could actually result in a criminal charge. A law initially targeting cable piracy was amended to include streaming services, making it a crime to share your account credentials, even with friends and family. So think twice before you pass along that password. 16. Restrictions on unmarried Qatari women under 30. In Qatar, unmarried women under 30 are restricted from checking into hotels without a male guardian's approval. This regulation reflects traditional cultural values but also sparks discussions about gender equality. Life as a young, unmarried woman in Qatar can involve navigating a unique set of legal and cultural restrictions. 15. The famed Malawian air fouling legislation. Malawi nearly passed an infamous law in 2011 banning public flatulence to promote public decency. Though the law wasn't ultimately enacted, it became a media sensation and a lasting joke in global news. The proposal was meant to address public etiquette, but it faced heavy criticism and international mockery, eventually leading to its demise. 14. Motorcycle riding rules in Pakistan. During specific public holidays, riding a motorcycle with a passenger is banned in Pakistan. With nearly 70% of motorized vehicles being motorcycles, this restriction aims to curb accidents during particularly busy times. While it might seem strict, the holiday ban reflects Pakistan's focus on public safety and order. 13. No gambling for locals in Monaco. Monaco might be known for its glamorous casinos, but locals are banned from gambling in them. This law, dating back to the 19th century, was designed to protect residents from potential financial ruin. Meanwhile, foreigners are encouraged to enjoy the casinos, filling Monaco's coffers with revenue from around the world. 12. Mandatory flag display on Independence Day in Chile. In Chile, residents must display the national flag outside their homes on Independence Day, with fines for those who don't comply. This patriotic tradition is enforced each September, symbolizing national pride and unity. 11. Salt and condiment restrictions in Uruguay. To combat hypertension, Uruguay passed a law banning table salt and salty condiments in restaurants. Patrons must request them specifically if they want extra flavor. This health-conscious law aims to improve public health in a country where hypertension is a growing issue. 10. Dutch law on bike lights and bells. In the Netherlands, it's illegal to cycle without a light and a bell on your bike. Although helmets are optional, lights and bells are mandatory to encourage safe cycling on the country's busy streets. This law reflects the Dutch commitment to road safety and responsible cycling culture. 9. A ban on dyeing in Longyearbyen, Norway. In Longyearbyen, a remote Norwegian town, dyeing is technically against the law. The extreme cold prevents bodies from decomposing, making burial nearly impossible. Residents who become terminally ill are typically moved to the mainland to avoid these complications. 8. No spontaneous dancing in Swedish bars. Sweden requires bars and clubs to have a permit if they want to allow dancing. This law originated as a way to monitor establishments for public order, but remains an odd relic from the 1970s. Swedish authorities still maintain it, though many believe it's time for it to be retired. 7. Alcohol time restrictions in Finland. In Finland, it's illegal to sell alcohol in shops after 9 p.m., pushing late-night drinkers toward licensed bars and restaurants. This law is part of Finland's larger approach to limit alcohol consumption, especially during evening hours. 6. Unemployment tax in Belarus. In Belarus, those who are unemployed face a special tax to cover their share of public services. Critics argue that this tax burdens already struggling individuals, but supporters believe it encourages job-seeking. This pay-to-be jobless scheme is one of the more controversial economic laws in recent history. 5. The John Lennon Wall paradox in Prague. The famous John Lennon Wall in Prague is filled with graffiti, representing peace and freedom. Ironically, adding to this art is illegal, risking a hefty fine and even jail time. This law underscores the unique, sometimes paradoxical nature of public art spaces. 4. Fines for public napping in Croatia. Public napping, especially if accompanied by loud snoring, can result in fines in Croatia. This law targets those who disturb the peace, even in public parks. However, supplying alcohol to minors is surprisingly leniently treated, creating an unusual legal juxtaposition. 3. Fire extinguisher requirement in Bulgarian cars. In Bulgaria, every vehicle must carry a fire extinguisher and other safety equipment. This strict approach to road safety contrasts with other countries and serves as a reminder of Bulgaria's proactive stance on accident preparedness. 2. Bhutan's ban on mountain climbing. In Bhutan, peaks over 6,000 meters are off-limits to climbers. Revered as sacred, the mountains are left undisturbed, creating one of the few places where preservation overrules the allure of mountaineering. 1. Academic honesty laws in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, students can face up to 3 years in prison for cheating on their final exams. This law reflects the country's emphasis on academic integrity, but critics question the harsh consequences for young offenders. Want more mind-bending facts like these? Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with friends. Comment below on which law surprised you the most, and stay tuned for even more strange and surprising insights.